What is up, everybody? It's me, Retrovin, and we're reviewing Super Smash the PlayStation Oh wait, it's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which is basically Nickelodeon Smash Bros, as I like to call it. I'm going to explain why it's very similar to that game and why it's kind of underwhelming. But yeah, with that being said, let's get on to the review. So on the menu, you have various different options. You got extras, you got arcade, you got online, you got battle. Arcade, as you know, is the closest thing this game has to story mode. There's not really much to it, though. In extras, you got the gallery, which is pictures, and then replays, which is actually pretty cool, because Smash Bros. Doesn't have something like this, where if you win a fight, you can just get replays of them, which is pretty nice. It's a nice thing to look back at, you know, especially if you're kicking players' asses. Moves, basically the move set for each character. Jukebox, basically music and all that. Nothing too crazy, but cool that they got it, because Smash does. When you go to battle, which is like, you know, your average versus mode, you have like various different options. You got training, you got timed matches, stock matches, and sports. And let me tell you, sports is really bad. I'm gonna get into that later in the review, though. But when we go to stock, you can see that we got the character selection. So, you know, to start off, you got SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, you know, well-known SpongeBob characters. You got these. You got that. Gross, but cool that they got them, I guess. You got Leonardo, Michelangelo, and April, but you don't have the other two turtles. You got the Ren and Stimpy, you got the Toast Boy, I've never seen him, though. You got the Zim, got the cat dog, and then you get a side character that's not even like one of the main characters. There's like a couple of those for some reason. And overall, they're missing a lot of other characters. Like, you don't have Timmy Turner, you don't have Jimmy Neutron, you're just missing like a ton of fighters, basically, which is quite sad. But overall, the 20 fighters they got aren't too bad. Some are really bad, like control-wise, like Patrick. Not very good. I've played him. And basically, sports is just like capture the flag with the soccer ball. Now, my issue with it is you can get points in it, but it's very hard to do so, and it takes a bit of time to get used to. And overall, it's quite an underwhelming thing, too, because it's basically just 2v2 battle with a sports ball. I'm not too big of a fan of it, but I suppose the variety is at least welcome. It's just not a very good variety. Now, the stage selection is pretty good, and they all look good, like, background-wise. Now, you can tell it was made by, I guess, like a smaller dev team that Nickelodeon hired, but they did pretty good with it, stage-wise. They got basically a stage for every character, including, you know, ones from the same franchise, and most of them are pretty solid. You know, they got cool little background things, there's stuff you can do. And there's stuff going on, like in this one with the Technodrome, you got a little crane flying around, so that's cool. The one thing I will say is gameplay-wise, a lot of these fighters basically take from Smash Bros. Fighters. Like, there's an Invader Zim fighter, and he literally plays like Bowser Jr. Now listen, I main Bowser Jr. in Smash Bros. I would know how Bowser Jr. plays, and he basically plays just like him. And various other characters will utilize different, you know, major movesets from other characters, which is, you know, a bit lazy, but it works. Like, it's one of those things where it's definitely a ripoff, but they don't do it bad. Like, this game plays good, and I gotta give it credit for that, at least. The only issue, though, is, again, like I said, it's an underwhelming lineup, so there's not really much you could do with it. Hopefully they add more stuff in the future, though. Now, my major issue, though, is that the game feels very, I guess, bland in terms of the way you're playing it, because none of the characters have voices, basically. So all you hear is the announcer saying, "Whoopee, you did it," or "This is that." Basically doing the Smash Bros. Announcer, but none of them even have, like, grunts, which, I mean, they could have easily gotten. Nickelodeon published this game, so I'm sure if they really needed it, they could have added it in, but because it's not there, and it's not a deal breaker, but with it not being there, it really kind of makes the game feel unfinished almost, like you're playing a prototype or something. And honestly, it just overall the game kind of feels like that. Like, it's a solid experience, but it's definitely not worth the price. The game is absolutely atrocious, because the online in it basically has really bad servers from what I've played, and either the game will lag a lot of the time, or, you know, it just won't even start. So I will say the online experience is not very good. Now, it doesn't normally affect the score of a game, usually, but a good chunk of this game really feels like it relies on the online competitive mechanic, so it is a deal breaker when that's very laggy and not running well. Now again, if some of this stuff gets fixed, like, you know, when this review comes out, because I pre-record this, I can't help that. This is just my review of the game for when I first got it, so if it fixes it, maybe I'll make a follow-up, but for now it's pretty underwhelming. The music also isn't much to write home about either. I don't really want to show it because I feel like I might get copyright strike because I've been having issues with Viacom, but yeah. That's basically all I gotta say on the game. It's an okay game, but it's very underwhelming, and I'd probably give it like a 5 if I can give it a score. Like, it's okay, but it does feel like it's in beta, and it probably could have had more fighters and more stages before they officially released it like they did. Anyways, though, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review, and have yourselves a good one. I'm out. Peace.